today's topic, indicators. I'll ask you one question, guys. How many of you are using? How many of you are not using indicators? Using means all 25 people. Now currently 25 are attending the online session. Okay, if I ask the question, right, all will tell yes, we are using 25. Can anyone tell me like who is not using? Suhas is not using. Pramod not using. But you guys joined here. No, not using, not using. I'm asking about not using. No, but you guys are not using, but still you joined the call. Huh? Okay, no issues, no issues. Till did not use. Okay, yeah, fine. Yeah, only SMA moving average. Okay, okay, yeah. See, one thing we should understand: indicators, right? And crossover to find the trend. Okay, VWAP. Okay, yeah, yeah. We'll start with this one. I'll explain. Okay. See, when you are first thing you have to understand all these indicators, right? They are derived from price. If you check any indicator formula, right? I'll show you one simple this one RSI indicator formula. I'll just show you what is the formula here. See here? If you see, right? You see here? Let me scroll down. See here? RSI formula is 100 minus 100 divided by 1 plus RS. What is RS? RS is nothing but average of whatever the number of days you take by default. If you see, right, RSI, let me add RSI. Okay, by default it takes 14 days. Okay, so when you see the formula, right, it is N is nothing but 14 days closing price divided by average of number of days closing down. I mean the closing price and lower price. Based on that your RSI is calculated. You take any formula, okay, RSI or MACD, whatever it is, everything is calculated based on your stock price. Either it is closing or low or high or whatever it is. Only stock price is being referred there. Okay. First we'll start with RSI. Many of our thinking like when it comes to RSI, right, what they usually do is, I'll just expand this. Whenever it comes to 0 or near to 0, just a minute. Guys, please. I think someone is unmuting. Please don't unmute. Okay. Yeah. See here. RSI value is between 0 to 100. Okay. When you see the RSI value, right, the value is between 0 to 100. Even if the stock is falling, right, RSI will never show you in minus. Maximum it can show is 0 value, not minus value. Even if the stock is continuously falling, right? If you take example of, I'll show you DHFL. Okay. It was trading once upon a time in 600 levels. Let me open. Yeah, you see here. If you see here, right, your stock is continuously falling, but what is RSI doing here? It is showing you still buy, sell, whatever it is. but your stock is continuously falling here. Okay, RSI will never tell you, I mean, it will never go below zero value, and it doesn't tell you whether you have to go for sell or this one. It will just give you a range, like whether it is oversold or overbought, and it depends on the time frame you are selecting there. I'll show you one simple example. TCS. Okay. If you see this one, right? Let me go to smaller time frame so that you will be able to understand clearly. I'll show you one area where your RSI is telling you to buy, but the stock is coming down. Okay. You can see this place only here. Generally what people will do is if you see this area, right, what is this telling you? This is overbought area. Okay, this is telling you overbought area, and you are looking for sell. And what is price doing here? From here it did not fall, it is still going up here. And what is your RSI doing here? It is coming down. This area you see here, this price is going up, but your RSI is coming down. So we should understand all these indicators, right? They work only in trending markets. Okay, like whenever the stock goes in sideways or this one, this RSI indicators will give you a wrong results. Okay, but you can use them as an additional confirmation. Don't trade only based on indicators. That's what I would like to tell you. Now when coming to RSI, right, I'll tell you how to use RSI. One simple examples, you just practice that one, it will be more helpful. Here, for example, in this case, right, let me mark that. So this point, from this point to this point, I'm just connecting here. Okay, the tops. Okay, what this is telling you? Trend. What is this telling you? This is making higher highs. This is one high, and this is making a new high. Whenever this trend forms, what we call it is an uptrend. Okay, but see the RSI. I'll draw a trend line from RSI, from connecting this to this. And what is your RSI telling here? Let me. It is almost like at the same level. Higher high. Yeah, that's what. This is making higher high. What does higher high means? Uptrend. But whereas your RSI, it is showing at the same level. That means that it is telling you there is a divergence. Price is making higher high, but your indicator is not making new high. It is trying to come down here. This is an indication where it is telling you there is a change in the trend. Okay, so that's what it happened here. It started falling. This is one of the way how to use RSI. Bearish divergence. Yeah. Okay. Understood how to use RSI? You can use this for finding the divergence. Okay. Don't trade on. No audio on my side. Are you guys able to hear me? Yeah.
Yes, we are able to.
I don't know. The one guy. Can you rejoin the person who is not able to hear us? Okay. Yeah. So this is how you are going to use RSI. It is not just it is not just buying at whenever it crosses this one and selling at this higher level. It's not like that. You try to find divergence. Okay. Now one more example I'll tell you. Here, if you see here, right, your price is making lower lows. If I consider, no, I can't join this one, but still see this one. If you see, right, it is making lower lows, this low, and one more new low here. But when I see RSI, right, if I try to join here, from here to here, what it is telling? Can you consider this as a kind of double top? I mean double bottom, not double top, double bottom. If I consider like this, right? See here, your price is making lower low, but your RSI is at the same level. That is telling you what? This is the maximum value where it has reached. It cannot go minus there. And it is taking a reversal here. But whereas your price is telling you lower low, which is a downtrend. But actually it started reversing here. So RSI divergence can be used for identifying the change in trend. Okay, by using, I mean, positive divergence and negative divergence. On the top, when you are connecting the tops, right, that is called negative divergence. When you are connecting the bottom ones, those are called positive divergence. Okay, that is the main use of RSIs. Don't just go only blindly like oversold. Okay, chalo, I'll sell. Overbought, I'll buy. It's not like that. Okay. Here, for example, if you see here at this point, let me mark with arrow. At this point, it is your RSI is telling here oversold, and if you are shorted here, it did not come. It came down. After that, see the move it has given from here till here. It moved. See this? So this is where many of us start losing the trade just by trading only using indicators. Okay, RSI, it's better to use only when you find certain divergence like this. It will give a better results than trading only based on this 30 and 80 levels. Few people use 2080. By default, levels is like whenever RSI crosses 30, they'll look for buy, and whenever it starts coming down from 70 levels, they start looking for selling. So, but don't go with only with that concept. Okay, clear on the RSI? Any queries you can ask. It's pausing in between. Clear, guys, on the RSI?
Yes, it's clear.
Okay, if any doubts you can ask. Okay, so that is how you are going to use RSI. Now I'll just remove this RSI. We are done with RSI. Next, one more popular indicator many of us use, that is MACD. Okay, again this is also same thing. Whenever this crossover happens, right, you are going for buying, and whenever this on the top side this crossover, right, here you can see at this point blue is nothing but bullish, and this is a bearish indication. So whenever blue comes below this red level, right, you look for selling, and whenever blue crosses this red, you look for buying. That is what this MACD says. But problem here is same like RSI, right? Here also we have a problem. For example, right here, just I saw here, I guess. You see here, this part, right? As I said, right, this is in range bound, this area. Okay, just mark with, okay, this is in range bound, but your MACD is telling to sell. Okay, here, but this is your, it's trading in complete range, but your MACD is telling you sell. Even if you are trying to sell here, right, you won't be able to make money because this is in trading in complete range only. It is not even going up or down. So all these indicators, they work in trending markets. Okay, clear on the MACD? Whenever you see a crossover like blue crossing red, that is a buy signal. Where if the blue is crossing red on the downside, then you have to look for sell. Okay, clear on the MACD? Not audible. No, Sudhir, I think most of them are able to hear. I think, can you try rejoining? Okay. Here they have few settings in the MACD. You see, if you see, right, these settings is nothing but it is showing you what is the moving average they are using. Slow length, fast length, signal length. This is nothing but they are certain moving averages. That's it. Even if you change these numbers, right, automatically this sell and buy signal will also change. Okay, these are the defaults one which many are using. That's about MACD. Okay. Next, I'll explain super trend. Okay. How to use super trend. This is also one of the simple indicator. Okay. Default values are this one, length 10 and factor 3. Length 10 is nothing but it will take the 10 days previous 10 days 10 candles, I mean to say, not 10 days, 10 candles, because we are selecting time frames, right, different time frames. So I'm just considering candles. Okay, based on that it will calculate you, it will plot the buy and sell levels. For example, if you see, whenever this green color, right, whenever the candle closes above this green line, then you have to look for buy. If you see here, right, at this point, this candle, okay, it gave a buy signal. Okay, you'll be in this trade until this level breaks. I mean, that is your stop loss. Okay, and when you see this red color, right, that indicates sell signal. So this is the area where they will go for sell entries, and it has come down till how much? From 2200 to 2160, almost 30-40 points it has come down. And again here at this point the candle got closed, so you are taking your buy entry here at this point, and as it starts moving up, right, this super trend, you can use the whatever the value it is showing, right, that value as your stop loss. If it starts moving up, right, like for example, after completion of this candle, your stop loss will change to here. After completion of this candle, whatever the price it is showing here, right, for super trend, you have to modify your stop loss to that level. That is how you are going to use super trend. Your entry will be, once a candle closes above the super trend, you are taking the entry, and your SL will be whatever the super trend value is showing. That is your SL. Clear on the super trend? This point is for selling. Once you sell here, your SL will be this value, whatever the super trend value is showing here. For example, if I sell at this point, right, what is my super trend showing? 2303. So from this value, it is 2303 is my SL. Okay, once it starts coming down, you are again modifying your SL like that. Okay, whenever it starts coming near to your SL rate, that is the place where you have to look for booking your profits. So unless that point, you can still be in that trade. Super trend, clear? Any doubts on the super trend? You can try with the different parameters, input parameters like I personally used to try with 10 and 1, something like this. But this will be of very tight stop loss. This was I was trying in the beginning. Okay, your stop loss will be very tight. This length will be same. Only the factor whatever I'm taking the factor right. I'm just changing this to 1. You can try with the different parameters and you can trade that. That's all about super trend. Okay. Next comes I personally used to use this ADX indicators. I think most of you guys know this ADX indicators. It will give you a directional movement, like whether the stock is in positive or negative. Okay. If you see here, right, at this point, this area it has given a crossover. This area it has a given crossover. Okay. Here you see 3 lines. Okay. One is strength indicator. Let me open the properties of DMI ADX. You see here, DI length is nothing but 14 days. Last 14 days or 14 candles it is referring to that. Okay. And ADX is nothing but your strength indicator. It will show you the strength of particular stock for the last 14 candles. Okay. If I take this one, right, let me change the style of ADX. Okay. Yeah. I just made the strength little bold. Okay. In order to use this indicator, right, first you have to see the crossover. Whenever crossover happens, right, that gives a negative signal. Okay. And on top of that, you should also make sure that this strength indicator is not coming towards downside or it is not losing its momentum. The value of this should be at least above 25. The strength indicator, right, it should be above 25 when you are seeing this crossover, right, like buy or sell crossover, whatever it is. The value of this strength indicator should be above 25. At this point, for example, it gave a buy signal here at this point, this crossover. And if you see the strength of this indicator, right, here you can see, I'll just click, you can see on the top here. Here it is showing the values. I'll just click on this. You see here, strength is close to 27.08. So which is above 25. So at this point you can take an entry because ADX is also giving a buy confirmation and also the strength is above 25. So which is good for your trade, like buy signal. This is a buy signal, right? You are looking for buy entry. Okay, you can ride, you can stay in the stock till you see another crossover. Till that point you can keep the trade, or if you are happy with the small profit, you can just book it. This is how you are going to use your ADX indicator or DMI indicator. ADX or DMI both are same. In Zerodha or some software they give ADX name, but in Fires it is DMI, directional movement indicator. There is also ADX, but when you click on this one, right, it will show you only the the strength indicator. It will not show you the crossover. Okay, that is about ADX or DMI indicator. Clear? Super trend clear. Use 1.5. Yeah. Different people have different choice. They can use. Okay. What's the name in Zerodha? ADX. You can search ADX only in Zerodha. Okay. Now, right, in ADX, what is the problem is, I'll tell you now. Now I explained you what is ADX. I'll tell you what is the problem here. You see this area? This area? Here so much confusion is there, whether it is buy or sell or whatever it is, like it is overlapping continuously here. But here we are, like, let me do here. Here at this point, right, this crossovers, they are clear. It is clearly showing the buy and sell signal. But this area, if you see, this is a complete sideways. It is not giving you a clear direction whether it is buy. If you go for sell here, immediately it is giving buy here. You see this? To avoid this one, right, there is one more indicator called vortex. If you click this one, right, you see this? You see the difference here? Vortex is also same like ADX only. Only thing is here with strength indicator. Okay, for now I'll hide that strength indicator. Let me hide it. Okay, now both will look similar. You see, both are buy and sell signal only. It is giving just buy and sell crossover only. But observe this area. Here it is not clear whether it is buy or sell. But here it is not like that. It is clearly telling you a sell here, and after that again sell. In vortex there is no, I mean, it is kind of smoother version of ADX, you can say. Okay, vortex indicators. I am not very sure whether it is available in Zerodha, but in Fires and TradingView it is available, vortex indicator. Okay, you can use either of these. Clear, guys? Vortex and this one. In DMI, what is SL? Yeah, SL. In DMI, you cannot predict the SL based on only the indicator. You have to consider your previous swing low. Here it will not give you the SL because it will give only the buy and sell signal. There is no SL here. You have to see the previous low or swing low and keep that as your SL or your previous candle low, like that. Okay. Once again the buy signal for ADX, Rajesh. Are you asking for ADX? See, I'll tell you. Whenever this blue crossover happens on the red, right? Almost all the indicators, right? Same thing. Whenever the blue crosses red towards high side, you have to look for buy. When it starts crossing on the downside, you have to look for sell. This is common for all the indicators. Only thing is how you are going to use. For DMI, there is a special strength also. When you add this strength, right, it will give you a clear signal whether it is going to, I mean, buy or sell signal. As when you enter a trade, right, for example, here when you start entering here, your strength indicator is showing positive only, and at this point, right, it started dipping. You see this? There is a shape, V kind of shape here, opposite V. So when you start seeing that, right, that is the point where you have to book your profit, exit it. because that is telling you it is going to change the trend. Okay. Rajesh, yeah. So for buy or sell, you have to watch on the crossovers. That's it. And the smoother version of DMIA is vortex indicator. Okay. Next, similarly, there is one more indicator called SMI ergodic indicator. This is just a smoother version of MACD. I'll add MACD also. Let me add it. Okay. You see, it is just a tweaked version of MACD. Here in MACD you'll get little false signal, but in SMI that will be corrected. If you are using MACD, try using this SMI. You'll see the difference there, little bit difference. Okay, that is just a smoother version of MACD. Next comes Bollinger Band. I think most of you guys are using Bollinger Band, maybe, I'm not sure. I'll tell you one simple strategy on Bollinger Band. Bollinger Band is nothing but again a combination of moving average. If you see the inputs, right, they are taking the 20 days moving average and multiplying with a factor of 2. If you change the factor of this 2 to 1, your Bollinger Band size will reduce. For example, here, right, see, it is getting reduced. So I'll just keep the default values. Okay, 2. It was 2 or what? Let me check. Bollinger Band added. Yeah, 2. Now, how to trade on the Bollinger Band? Just using Bollinger Band. No, nothing. No other indicators. No other this one. Only with the Bollinger Band. Whenever your Bollinger Band is, whenever your candles are continuously touching on the upper side and it is coming out from the Bollinger Band, that is the point, that is the area where you have to look for selling. For example, here you see this 2 candles, they started coming here, it started coming out, again it started coming out, and these two, especially if you see these two, right, they are of the same height. These are called nothing but pivot candles, or they call it as tweezer candles, tweezer bottom or tweezer top. In this case, it is called tweezer top candle. And if you see here, right, this is a tweezer bottom candles. Whenever you find this kind of pattern, right, especially like both will be of same height, and you see this kind of pattern, right, this kind of candlestick pattern, example here, you can take your trades. No technical knowledge is required here, but the thing is, once you enter there, you should know how to handle the trade. Sometimes it can give a false signal also. For example, here, right, you see this, at this point and at this point, all are selling, all are telling you sell. But if you are sold here, right, it did not give that much fall, and here also it did not give that much fall, but here at this point it gave a fall. So sometimes they will give wrong indication also. But if you are following only this pattern, right, like this double candlestick pattern, most of the times it works. Okay, this is how you are going to use Bollinger Band. And few people, what they do is they consider this 20 days moving average. Instead of entering there, right, here at this level, what they do is they will wait for the candle to close above this 20 days moving average. This middle line you see in the Bollinger Band, right, that is nothing but it's a 20 days moving average only. Okay, they will wait for the candle to close above this line. Once it closes, they will take their trades, and their SL will be below the low of this Bollinger Band. This one, they will take entry here, and they will wait until they see the candles coming out from the upper Bollinger Band. This is lower Bollinger Band, this is upper, and this, the middle line is your moving average. Okay, this is how you are going to use your Bollinger Band. What values should consider? No, I am taking only all default values. No change in the parameters. You can consider only default values. Don't change the parameters. Okay, but for back testing you can do that one. If you find anything which is useful, then you can change the parameters. Okay, clear on the Bollinger Band? Yes, no, or you did not understand Bollinger Band itself. Okay, yeah, be active guys. Next. There is one more I wanted to explain. Yeah, this one, Fisher transform. Okay, this indicator is named after a guy called Fisher. He has introduced this. This is also similar like your MACD or SMI indicator. Whenever you see crossover, right, this gives most of the time better results. Like for example, if you see, right, this one, whenever you see this crossover happens, right, from the bottom to top, you can buy this one, and whenever it happens on the top side, you can look for sell. And see here, at this point it gave a buy. Okay, and at this point it gave a sell. Not at this point, this point. This point it gave a sell here. This was a buy and this was a sell. But sell, it did not give very big fall. Okay, but at this point it has given a big fall here. And your indicator is also telling you to sell. So this is Fisher transform indicator. These are all simple indicators. Just on the crossover you are trying to buy, and on the top side when the blue crosses this red on the downside, you are looking for sell. And for stop loss, right, your previous swing low will be your stop loss. For example, if I take entry here, right, I need to just look low of this one. Like for example, if I see it, right, this is my low currently somewhere here. This will be my entry and my low will be this one. My SL will be this low, swing low. Okay, that is about Fisher transform indicator. Clear? Fisher transform. Okay. Next, there was one more I had planned to explain. Just yeah, one more, Ichimoku. Ichimoku. Many people are beyond this indicator, I guess. By seeing this indicator only, I got confused. Okay, initially when I started, right, let me tell you how I started this one. I was trying with different indicators initially. Okay, what I used to do is just click on indicators. I started adding everything at one shot. Okay, then I found this Ichimoku indicator. When I saw this, right, I saw many green, red, so many lines here. See, you see, I think you guys also may be using this indicator. I am not sure. Okay, by seeing this indicator, I thought that there is something interesting in this, and it can give a better signal, because there are so many lines here which will give a proper signal to buy or sell. I thought like that initially when I started. Then finally I understood this is also again the same thing. They work only in trending markets. Okay, it will not give you a clear exact buy or sell signal, but it will give an overall picture. Okay. Now I'll tell you how to use this indicator. First thing is, so many lines are there. I'll tell you one simple setting. Just click on this. Okay. Go to style. Remove all this. These are all not required. Use only these two, conversion line and baseline. Only these two indicators. Let me just zoom it. Make it broad, bold. If you see now, I have removed everything. I kept only these two, conversion line and baseline. Now the entry part or your exit part, I will tell you. Simple. Just to find the crossover wherever it is happening. See here it is happening, the crossover. Whenever blue crosses this red, that is a buy signal. Whenever red crosses blue, red, that is a sell signal. That's it. And your stop loss will be below this swing low or this one. You can keep the stop loss below your swing low or your previous candle low also you can keep. You have to give a little buffer. Don't keep exact low. You have to give some 2 or 3 rupees buffer. This is one of the easy way of using Ichimoku. If you start adding all these lines, right? Let me pull this. Lagging span, lead one, this, and plot the background also. See the mess it is going to create here. And you yourself will get confused which one, which line to refer to buy or sell. So if you just make this setting, right, just remove all other settings, just use these two. It will give you a buy and sell. Clear on the Ichimoku? Clear on the Ichimoku? Which is reliable indicator? Yeah, Vineet Bajaj. Good question. I will answer this later. Okay. Next we'll go with 2 more indicators. After that we'll wind up the session. One more is stochastic. I think you would have heard this also. It is also similar like other indicators like MACD. Whenever you see crossover, you'll buy here. Whenever you see on the top side crossover, you'll look for sell. Same. They have introduced one more indicator called stochastic RSI. That is nothing but along with the stochastic indicator, they have included RSI also here. RSI value is also there in this. So instead of using stochastic, what I'll do is I'll use stochastic RSI, which will give me a combination of stochastic plus RSI. No need of using both RSI and stochastic. If I use this one, it will give me better results. So if I go here, right, whenever it happens on the lower side crossover, I'll look for buy. On the top side, I'll look for sell. You can take any time frame. Few people, what they do is they'll take a combination of 2 time frames. Like one is 5 minutes. I'll go here this chart 5 minutes, and here 15 minutes. This chart. Okay. What you can do is whenever you see in the 5 minutes the crossover is happening, right? Okay, you can look for start buying. Not in 5 minutes, here in the 15 minutes, right? If you start it is showing in the positive, right? You can look time your entries in the lower time frame. For example, here it started, right, at this crossover. I think indicator is showing here. Yeah, this point. See, at this point it started showing me this one. You see this? At this point it started showing me buy signal. Let me mark with the arrow. Yeah, this arrow. Okay. Here it started showing me a buy signal. Okay. When I move here, right, this point. At this point, if I am referring here, this crossover, you see where it is referring on this one. It is coming at this level. Okay. 1 minute. See here. So this is giving you a crossover here. Okay, that means you have to look for buy. So what you are doing is you are coming to your lower time frame and finding the proper entries. So for example, here at this point, right, you are seeing the signal changing here. You see this buy started here. Okay, so here it has given crossover, then in a lower time frame find your entries. Similarly, when it is showing the upper level, if you see this, right, this top level crossover, you can see this. At this point it started giving you a signal that it is going to fall. Again, what you are doing here, right, you are again coming to your lower time frame, that is 5 minutes, and you are looking for your entries here, somewhere here. When I move cursor, right, you can see the cursor here. As and when I move cursor on the 15 minutes, you can see the cursor moving here. You can see here. See this? So this is the place where you are looking for your sell entries. Clear on how to use stochastic RSI? These are lagging indicators, right? Please tell price action. No, this session was all about indicators, not price action, Srikanth. Okay? Clear on the stochastic? How to use stochastic? Okay. Next final indicator is parabolic SAR. I don't know you guys have heard or using this one. I'll just make a little bigger dots. Okay. This is one of the simple indicator. No complex, only dots will come. Thing is, whenever you see this upper dots, right? Whenever you see the dots forming on the upper side of the candles, here it started, first dot started here. That will give you a signal that it started downtrend. You can look for your sell entries. And whenever the dot starts on the downside, right? Example, you can see here, this is the place you are going to look for buy. Again, the same thing. This will not work in a sideways market. They will work only in the trending market. Okay, if you see this area is full complete sideways or range bound. That is why you are seeing the false indication here. It is showing you a buy, but after that it did not make that much high, and after that it started falling. Okay, this is how you are going to use your PSAR indicator. Let me delete this. Okay, whenever you see a buy, whenever you see on the top side of this one, one minute. Yeah, whenever you see on the top side, you have to look for sell. Whenever you are seeing the dots on the bottom side, you are looking for buy. Clear on the PSAR? Default parameters for PSAR. No, everything, whatever is the default values, right? I am using the same. I am not changing any default parameters. 1 minute. So what is that? So by 2 time frames can we trade based on smaller time frame? So Vivek, thing is, whenever you are planning for your entries, right? Like for example, I am telling you, if your analysis is in 15 minutes, for your entries, right, you should always look at the lower time frame. Your analysis will be in 15 minutes and your entries will come in 5 minutes chart. Just if it is 15 minutes, you have to come down to 5 minutes. If your analysis is in 5 minutes, just come to 3 minutes, like that. If your analysis is in 3 minutes, just come for your entries in 1 minute. It's like that. Always you should do like that only. Analysis and your entry should be always in a lower time frame, because that is the place where you will find the proper candlestick patterns, or all your patterns things, right? You'll find in the lower time frame. Okay. How to use inside markets? No, inside markets we cannot use indicators. That's what I'm trying to tell you. Indicators will work only in trending markets. Inside sideways you cannot use indicators. Okay. Next, default parameters. Yes, Vinith, we are using default parameters only. No change in the parameters. Okay. That's all about this PSAR indicator. And one more thing is, all the indicators, right, they give better results on higher time frames compared to very lower time frames. At least 1 hour or 4 hour or daily charts, they give a better entries or exits. But if you are going a very lower time frame, right, for example, if I go to 3 minutes, right, you'll get lot of signals here: buy, sell, buy, sell, buy, sell. That is little risky. For example, here, right, if you see here, if I take just based on this one buy signal, you see here, next candle itself it's got red and started falling. So in lower time frame they give many false signals, but in higher time frames they give better buy and sell signals. Okay, that's about all about the indicators. What is the default PSAR parameters? I think it's 0.2 something, I guess. Yeah, 0.02. This is default. Whenever you add this indicator, by it will come with these default values only. I'm not changing any default values. Clear, guys? So that's it, all about indicators. Okay. Now comes which indicator is better. Sir, now you have explained ATR indicator. Yeah, I'll explain that. ATR, 1 minute. ATR. See, ATR is, it's not an indicator. Don't use it as an indicator. Okay, it is not telling you buy or sell signal. Yeah, like for example, right here, it is coming, it is complete in sideways or range bound. If you see this level, right, I'll mark this one, this level, and after that, 1 minute, and after that it started going up, this indicator. Okay, by seeing this, you cannot go, you are not going to take buy signal here. For example, if you here, right, it started moving upside, and what is your stock doing here? It is coming down. So ATR is not an indicator to buy or sell signal. How to pre-select stock? Shiva, I am not giving the session on selecting the stock. I am giving session only on the indicators. Okay. If you have any queries on the indicator, you can ask me. So ATR, right? ATR, what is the full form of ATR? That is average true range. Average true range of what? If you see right here, length is 14. Okay. Average true range of last 14 candles or 14 days, whatever the time frame you are choosing, right? Based on that, it is calculating the average. So now, right, I am on daily time frame. So let me delete everything. Okay. So let me zoom it. See, now current ATR value is 75 rupees. Okay. Current ATR value is 75 rupees. That is nothing but, if you see right, it is just taking the last 14 days. Since I am in daily time frame, it is taking the last 14 days candle and calculating the average price here. Okay, it is not telling you buy or sell signal. It is just giving you the range of last 14 days. And how you are going to use this one is, for example, right, you want to know what is the range of TCS. Okay, every stock has some range. Okay, it is not like every day TCS will move 200 rupees upside or 200 rupees downside. Okay, based on this range only you are deciding how much the stock can move upside or downside. For example, now if I take ATR of TCS is 75 rupees. Okay, now suppose if I have made a entry here, tomorrow for example tomorrow I see one green candle here. Okay, I think this is mock-up trading candle, I guess. Today was mock-up trading, I guess. That is why this big candle has come. Okay, so suppose tomorrow on Monday you saw one green candle and you have taken entry here. Okay, at this 2000 level here somewhere you have taken. Now how you are going to calculate the stop loss is by making use of your ATR indicator or your stop loss or target, right? Based on this people will calculate their stop loss or SL. Let me show you. There are two ways. One is what few people will do is they'll just take the previous low, maybe this one. Okay, they'll keep this as their SL if they are doing positional, right? Like that. Since I have taken daily charts, so what I'm doing is I will keep the previous swing low, this one somewhere here. Okay, this is my stop loss. This is by seeing the swing low you are keeping your stop loss. The other way to keep stop loss is you are finding the ATR value. What is the ATR value currently? 75 rupees. So what I'll do is I'll do what my entry is near 2000. So 2000 minus 75 is what? It will come to 1925. So my stop loss will be somewhere near 1925 level. Somewhere near 1925 is my stop loss. So what they'll do is they'll not keep exact 1925, they'll give 1 or 2 rupees buffer so that your stop loss is not hit. Sometimes what happens is they'll hit your stop loss and again the stock will start moving upside. So for that case what they are doing is they'll try to find the range first. After that they'll give some buffer pricing. Like if it is 75 rupees they'll give 85 or 80 rupees like that. So that your SL is not hit. That is how you are going to use your ATR indicator. Remember, ATR is not for buy or sell signal. It is only for finding the range of a particular stock. You can take any time frame. Now if you go to 15 minutes, right, automatically the ATR will change. See, now the ATR is 8 rupees. It is decided based on the time frames. Now if I take entry here, right, my stop loss will come to close to 8 rupees or 9 rupees, like that. Clear? Clear on the ATR? What's the use of ATR then? Yeah, that's what I explained right now. Don't use ATR just for buying and selling. It is used for finding the range of the stock and to calculate your SL. Okay? Don't simply go and buy based on that indicator. Clear on the ATR part? Now, one of our user asked, right? One of our guy who is Vineet, I guess. Vineet or Vivek, I don't remember. Which is best indicator to use? If you ask me, there is no single indicator which is best and which will give a 100% result. Okay? I'm able to explain. I explained almost close to 10 indicators, I guess. 10 or 11 indicators, I think. Okay? Now imagine how much I would have tried with these indicators. I have tried most of the indicators. I have tried most of the indicators and finally understood that only price will give a indication whether it is overbought or oversold. Price action is the important thing here. No indicator will tell that it is a buy or sell, but the price will tell you whether it is a overbought or oversold. How you are going to that? How you are going to do that is called price action. You are not using any indicator. Okay, this is my plain chart. If you see, right, this is my plain chart I am showing you. Okay, at this point here, this is daily time frame. You see this candle and this candle. What is this? Doji. Doji means what? No one is dominating here, either seller or buyer. Both are at any volume indicator, sir. No, I am not using any volume indicators, only price. Remember, price is the king. I'll tell you one simple example. When you are when you are doing some shopping, right? Usually at what time and what time you will go? Like, will you go when there is offer, or you'll go at a normal this one, or how it is like? You'll go for shopping when there is any offer, right? Like buy one get one free, something like that, or when the price is very low. Only during that time you'll go and buy, right? Buy the things. Correct? Otherwise you won't go and buy. Same thing is here. There you are referring the price. You take anything, price comes the first. Then after that only everything will come. Even if you like one pant or shirt or whatever it is, right? First thing what you will do is, it is not that you just you liked that one and you are going to buy that one. It's not that. You are going to see the price there. What is the price of that particular pant, jeans, or whatever it is? If you are okay with the price, only then you are going to buy that one. Otherwise, you are not going to buy. Right? Similarly, in the stock market also same thing. If you see here, this candle itself gave us a confirmation that, boss, here it is getting exhausted. Price is telling here, at this point, price is clearly telling that there are no buyers or sellers. They are equal, no more, they are not interested in that. Okay, and this candle, it gave a clear confirmation that price is rejected from the top level. If you see this candle high and low, right, just see the candle high and low. High is 2333 and low is 2220. Almost 110 rupees it moved. High was 2333 and by closing it came down to 100 points downside. It closed. That means that it went upside. Initially it opened at a higher level. See, initially it opened at this level, that is 2244 rupees. Okay, and it made a high of how much? 2333, and after that sellers dominated and finally it closed near the day low. So from day high to day low, that itself it gave us an indication that now buyers are no more interested in the stock. No indicator is telling you this, whether it is sell or buy. Indicators are lagging because they will give, after the confirmation, they will give you a signal that, okay boss, you can go for selling here. By that time party would have already completed. Now you are entering there. Now the stock is changing the direction. So just understand the simple candlestick patterns or price action theory. Okay, then you will be able to judge the direction of the stock. Only just using the indicators you cannot guess the direction of the stock, whether it is going upside or downside. But with the price action theory, right, you can understand the direction. predict the movements. So here these two itself gave us a confirmation that boss, it is going to change the direction. I'll tell you one more simple this one. Here example, see here this level, right? Let me mark this. If you see here, right, you see this at this level, this level, okay, this level, this level, what it is telling you, and this level, whenever it is coming to this price level, right, 2282, 2300, what is happening here? You are seeing it is coming down. Most of the times it is rejecting from that price level. So here also same thing happened. But is your indicator telling the same thing? Let me open any indicator, RSI, your DMI. Here, this is clearly telling you sell, sell, sell. No need of any indicators whether to give you buy or sell signal. Let me add moving averages also. Okay, like 100 and 200. Let me add, or 50. Wait, not across. 1 minute. EMA 1, 2. Okay, let me change to 50 days. Okay, and this one to 100. Okay, okay, see here, if you see here, right, still your moving averages did not give sell signal, but your price action already gave a sell signal here itself. Okay, still the crossover did not happen here for selling. Here also see here, where your moving averages gave sell signal, here at this point it has given the sell signal, but your price action has already given here itself. Here also same thing. See here still it is in uptrend only. Here it has given a sell signal, but whereas your price, right, it is already telling you, boss, it is trading at a higher level, so better look and trade. Don't go blind buy. You have to look for sell, because most of the times it has rejected from that price level. So once you understand this price action, right, just throw all this indicator. Just these are all not required. Okay, so I hope I answered Vinith's question. Okay, so that's it, guys. Anything else? That's all about indicators and price. Means this session was why to not use indicators. No, it's not like that. Why not to use indicators? Not like that. You can use indicators. I'm not against that. Only thing is the point where you are going to use that matters. For example, right, in sideways market you cannot use indicators. Okay, but in trending markets you can use indicators. There it will work properly, but in sideways it will not work. Only price action will work. Okay. Vinith Bajaj, need your mobile number. You can contact us at this our Telegram ID, Amonth at 369. You can contact here or to my this one. These are our Telegram IDs. You can contact us there. Okay. Thank you, guys. This I'll share the recording also. If you want, you can watch later. Thank you, and have a wonderful week ahead. Wonderful and profitable week. See you then. Bye.